Have you ever noticed that money seems to come easily and naturally to some people, while others, no matter how hard they work, constantly face financial losses, debts, and stress? At first glance, it seems like the cause is in the outside world, the economy, your job, your partners. But the truth is much deeper. It lies within us, in the state of our consciousness. Money is energy. Energy that always flows where it is welcomed. It feels your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, and your habits. If there is chaos inside you, unresolved fears, anxieties, the habit of blaming yourself or others, money does not stay. It comes, but it leaves just as quickly, leaving a sense of emptiness. Want to tell you a story about a woman I know well. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah always considered herself practical and smart. She studied, worked, and never missed a chance to earn. On the surface, she was doing everything right, but her bank accounts often went negative. She bought things she didn't need, gave expensive gifts out of guilt, and saved, but still constantly worried about the future. Outwardly successful, yet inside, chaos reigned, racing thoughts, overwhelming emotions, impulsive decisions. One day, sitting with me over a cup of tea, Sarah said, "I feel like I don't even understand where my money goes." I asked her to close her eyes and really listen to herself. We sat quietly for 10 minutes, and she noticed how her chest tightened every time she thought about spending. She realized that every time she received money, her body reacted with anxiety, as if she were doing something wrong, and that feeling translated into her actions: impulsive purchases, credit usage, unnecessary spending. This moment was a revelation for her. Money does not punish. It simply does not flow where there is inner chaos. And the greater the chaos, the faster the energy leaves. When we talk about inner chaos, we don't just mean emotions, but beliefs as well. How you perceive money, how you value it, how you feel when thinking about it. All of this shapes your reality. Fear, a sense of unworthiness, the habit of complaining, or comparing yourself to others creates blocks. The energy of money simply cannot stay in these vibrations. Sarah also noticed something else. She always tried to control everything, planning expenses, counting every penny, checking her bank accounts multiple times a day. And still, the result was the same: anxiety and financial loss. Control without inner order is an illusion. Money, like water, flows where there is harmony, clarity, and openness. Here's a practical tip. Before you spend, invest, or make any financial decision, pause and feel your state. Take a deep breath. Tune into yourself. If there is anxiety, irritation, or hurry inside, the decision will be flawed, no matter how logical it seems. If there is clarity, calm, and confidence, money will naturally flow to where it is valued and used in harmony. And here's a small exercise for you. Write in the comments below this video, "I accept and love money." Feel the vibration of this phrase as you write it. Each repetition forms your inner readiness to receive abundance. Remember, money is not punishment nor luck. It mirrors what you create within yourself. By paying attention to your thoughts and feelings about money, by noticing where the chaos is and what causes it, you are already taking the first step to preventing repeated mistakes. When inner order emerges, money begins to flow naturally, like a river into its course, without struggle, without effort, without unnecessary tension. Have you ever wondered why, despite your best intentions, money still slips through your fingers? Why some people always find a way to attract abundance, while others work tirelessly yet remain in the same cycle of financial struggle? The answer lies not in knowledge, strategy, or hard work alone. It lies in patterns that were formed long before your current life choices. I want to tell you about Michael, a man who seemed to have everything under control. On the outside, he had a successful career, a stable income, and people admired him. But inside, something was off. Every time he received a bonus or a larger paycheck, he would spend it almost immediately on things that brought temporary pleasure, only to feel emptiness afterward. The cycle repeated year after year. What Michael didn't realize is that his behavior was a pattern ingrained from childhood. Growing up, he often overheard his parents argue about money, felt anxiety when bills arrived, and internalized the unspoken message: money is dangerous, money is unstable, money is stressful. These early experiences created a subconscious blueprint in his nervous system, a blueprint that guided his decisions without him noticing. Here's the key insight. We live most of our financial lives in autopilot, repeating the strategies our nervous system has learned to survive emotional states from the past. It's not about rational choice, it's about emotional imprint. This explains why so many financial advice tricks fail. No matter how detailed your budget or how clever your investments, if your subconscious pattern resists money, your conscious efforts will always face resistance. Money is sensitive energy, and it responds not to logic, but to the harmony of your inner world. Let's bring it closer to you. Think about a moment when you received money, perhaps a gift, a paycheck, or a bonus. Did you feel calm, grateful, and aligned? Or did anxiety, guilt, or fear rise up? That emotional reaction is the true signal of your inner financial pattern. It is not the money that is wrong, it is the internal state. Michael's breakthrough came when he began to observe these patterns rather than fight them. He would pause every time he received money, notice the first sensation in his body, and ask, "What old belief is speaking here?" Slowly, he recognized the fear, the anxiety, the habit of scarcity that was embedded deep inside. Once he acknowledged it without judgment, he began to make conscious choices. The first few weeks were small, delaying unnecessary purchases, noticing gratitude before spending, listening to what his body felt. Gradually, the flow of money became smoother. It no longer escaped him as a chaotic storm, but moved like a river into a calm, steady path. Here's something practical for you. Every time you handle money, pause and observe your inner reaction. Notice your breath, your heartbeat, the tension in your shoulders. Ask yourself, am I acting from fear, habit, or chaos, or from clarity, gratitude, and trust? This small shift begins to reprogram your nervous system. You are no longer a passive participant. You become a conscious co-creator of financial energy. And here's a small but powerful practice. Write in the comments below, "I am open to receiving money with clarity and love." As you write, feel your energy aligning with abundance rather than fear. Notice how your body reacts. Even a small awareness shifts your inner state. Money is not just a tool, it is a mirror of your inner landscape, reflecting the subtle, often hidden patterns of your mind, heart, and body. To change your financial life, you don't need more tactics. You need awareness of how you feel, of the stories you inherited, of the automatic reactions that guide your spending and saving. Only when you bring this awareness into the present can you begin to align with the natural flow of abundance. Money is not just numbers in an account. It is energy, moving in accordance with your inner beliefs, mindsets, and feelings. Often, we wonder why our efforts don't bring the desired results. The answer is simple. Money fuels your relationship with it and with yourself. Money is not just numbers in an account. It is energy, moving in accordance with your inner beliefs, mindsets, and feelings. Often, we wonder why our efforts don't bring the desired results. The answer is simple. Money fuels your relationship with it and with yourself. Let me share a story that may clarify a lot. Lisa always considered herself unlucky with finances. Every promotion at work didn't bring her joy, but anxiety. What if I can't handle it? What if I lose everything? She grew up in a family where her parents constantly argued over money, and every major expense came with shouting and fear. These experiences formed in her a subconscious fear of money and abundance. When Lisa received a significant bonus, she almost immediately spent it on things that created the illusion of happiness: fancy coffee, jewelry, unnecessary gadgets. Her inner dialogue was relentless. Do I deserve this? Am I worthy of wealth? Money came and went, repeating the same cycle over and over. The main idea: subconscious beliefs are stronger than any external strategies. You can read books on financial literacy, take courses, and create budgets, but if fear, guilt, or scarcity live within you, money will slip away. How can you recognize that your beliefs are blocking the flow? Here are some signs. Spending on temporary pleasure. Money goes to things that give short-term comfort instead of long-term growth. Feeling guilty after spending. Even if you bought something necessary, there's a sense of, I didn't deserve this. Fear of investing or saving, a subconscious belief that it's better to spend immediately or something bad will happen. Repeating financial mistakes, choices in partners, jobs, purchases, everything returns to the same pattern. Lisa realized this when she started observing her thoughts and reactions. Every time she received money, she paused and asked herself, what am I feeling right now? Fear, joy, anxiety, habit. This simple practice gave her the awareness that it's the inner state that governs financial flow, not external circumstances. To change your life, you must begin with reprogramming your beliefs. Practical exercise. Every time you spend or receive money, pause for a couple of seconds. Feel your body, your emotions. Ask yourself, am I acting from fear or from trust and clarity? Even a small awareness begins to shift the dynamics of your flow. And here's a small tip. Write in the comments under this video, I open my heart to abundance and financial harmony. Let this be your daily reminder. Money flows where there is harmony and clarity, not fear and chaos. Remember, money is a mirror of your inner reality. Change it, and your outer world changes too. Many people think that money only comes to those who know everything about finance, make detailed plans, and count every penny. In reality, money is drawn to those who are internally confident, act quickly, and believe in themselves 100%. Let me share a story. Alex was always a cautious person. He feared making the wrong move, overthought everything, and compared all the options. One day, he found a project that could bring significant income. He studied it for months, doubted himself, and tried to gather more and more information. Meanwhile, the opportunity passed. Someone else seized it and achieved success. In contrast, Maria, his colleague, saw the same opportunity. She didn't know all the details and had doubts, but she trusted herself and took action. The result? The project succeeded, and money came to her quickly. The main point: financial flow opens to those who are decisive, who trust themselves, who act instead of endlessly hesitating. Why does this work? Because money is energy in motion. It does not stay where there is doubt and chaos. It loves confidence, consistency, and decisiveness. A person who believes in themselves creates a vibration that attracts abundance. Notice 3 key points. Speed of decision-making. Hesitation and fear lead to missed opportunities. Belief in your actions. Even if the decision isn't perfect, confidence fuels the right energy for results. Complete trust in yourself. An inner state of, I am worthy, I can do this, attracts financial flow. This confidence shows not only in big decisions. Every time you choose where to invest your time, money, or energy, your decisiveness shapes the flow. Practical exercise. Today, right now, take one small financial action. For example, invest in a course, buy a needed tool, or pay for something in advance. Do it with full confidence, without hesitation, without procrastination. Notice how your body reacts, how your inner feeling changes. And here's a small recommendation. Write in the comments, I trust myself and my financial decisions. Money flows to me easily and quickly. Remember, knowledge and strategy are secondary. Your inner state and confidence come first. Money always follows those who move forward boldly and believe in themselves and their actions. There is one thing that is rarely discussed in financial contexts, but it determines more than knowledge, strategy, or even confidence, a person's emotional state. Money does not favor a survival mindset, not because it punishes, but because when a person is in a state of contraction, they cannot see opportunities. When inside, you feel tension, constant anxiety, expecting the worst, controlling every step out of fear. A person starts acting narrowly. They choose safety over growth, preservation over expansion, and control over intuition. And money senses this. The paradox is that many people want money to stop worrying, but money only comes when anxiety no longer controls you. There are two internal modes. Survival mode. I urgently need money. What if it doesn't work out? Better not risk it. I must hold on to what I have. In this mode, a person clings, bargains with life, makes decisions out of fear, closes themselves off to new opportunities. Flowing alive mode. I can handle this. I trust myself. I can allow myself to try. Even if it's not perfect, I move forward. In this state, the body is relaxed, thinking is wider, intuition is on. Decisions come faster, and this is exactly where money flows. It's important to understand. Joy is not a reward for money. Joy is a condition for its movement. Not artificial happiness, not I must be positive, but an inner permission to live, feel, breathe, and choose. Very often, a financial ceiling is not about skills. It's about forbidding yourself to feel joy in advance, to feel ease, to allow yourself more. A person seems to tell the world, give me first, then I'll relax. But the universe works the opposite way. Practice for today. Ask yourself one honest question. Where in money am I living in survival mode? In spending, in earning, in fear of losing, in constant control? And the second question, what small action can I take today from a state of life, not fear, not a big action, small, but done with the feeling, I choose myself. And write in the comments this phrase, important, speak it to the world. I allow myself to live, not just survive. Money flows into my life through calm and trust. This is not just an affirmation. This is a state adjustment because money always flows to where a person is alive, feeling, and internally free. There is one rule that almost nobody speaks out loud, but it determines the flow of financial energy. Money flows to people who know how to value themselves, their boundaries, and their time. Many believe that money favors the hardworking, patient, or those who do everything right, but that's only half the truth. True wealth comes to those who do not betray themselves for external stability. What does this mean? When a person does something against themselves to please someone, avoid conflict, not lose someone or something, they create internal dissonance. And in that dissonance, financial energy simply does not come in. It cannot enter the chaos the person has created within themselves. I remember a story that illustrates this perfectly. When I was young, I worked in a small company with a mentor everyone respected. One of my colleagues, let's call her Clara, always agreed to every request from management, even if it went against her personal principles. She was afraid to say no and tried to please everyone. On the surface, she seemed successful. A decent salary, bonuses, respect from colleagues. But something always fell apart. Projects missed deadlines, money went to unnecessary expenses, clients complained about misunderstandings. My mentor once said, Clara, you are scattering yourself in all directions. Until you start respecting your time, your opinion, and your boundaries, no growth will come. Sometime later, Clara took the first step. She refused extra work that contradicted her values. She learned to say no without guilt. And what do you think happened? Within a month, new opportunities began coming to her, clients who valued her, partners willing to pay more for the work she did sincerely and well. Money started coming to her naturally, without struggle or tension. The takeaway is simple. Financial energy senses authenticity and alignment, not your degrees, not years of experience, not eloquence, but how much you respect yourself, your decisions, and your inner harmony. Practical exercise for viewers. Sit in silence and ask yourself, where am I betraying myself for others or to hold on to something? Write down one specific example on paper. Reflect. How can I change this right now to act in alignment with myself? This can be a small step, saying no, refusing extra work, asking for payment for your effort, expressing your opinion, and write in the comments the phrase, I value myself and my boundaries. Money and opportunities flow to me through my inner harmony. Remember, money does not favor inner chaos. It flows where a person lives honestly with themselves, respects their time, and creates space for energy. This inner practice, philosophy, and alignment is what transforms the financial flow from random luck into a steady, conscious, life-aligned process. We've gone through 6 keys that reveal how to build a harmonious relationship with money. Money is lost not because of decisions, but because of your state of consciousness. Money comes to those who see opportunities and trust themselves. Money senses honesty and inner consistency. 4. Your reaction to someone else's success reflects your inner fullness. Automatic reactions and habits can destroy the financial flow if they are not recognized. Money loves those who value themselves, their boundaries, and their time. When we combine these 6 principles, it becomes clear. Wealth is not just a number in your account, nor simply lucky decisions or random opportunities. It is energy that flows to a person living in harmony with themselves, respecting their values, boundaries, and inner state. Practice, self-awareness, and attention to yourself transform chaotic financial flow into a stable, productive, and calm one. Every action, every reaction, every choice is a signal of your inner harmony. And the more you live in alignment with yourself, the more naturally money and opportunities come to you. In the comments, write, I accept and love money. My energy is open to abundance. Remember, we live in a constant cycle of choice, every day, every moment. Awareness is not about controlling everything, but about paying attention to yourself and your reactions. Align your inner world and the external manifestations, money, success, opportunities, will follow naturally. Enjoy the process, learn from every step, and embrace yourself and your possibilities. And don't forget, a new video will be released tomorrow. Subscribe so you don't miss more discoveries about life, money, and the mistakes we make.